hope you have all have installed MATLAB. But before starting, let us understand that, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, as written here, MATLAB is a powerful language for technical computing. Technical computing. But before implementing MATLAB, we need to take care of some important points, because while doing programming, there may be some mistakes which is not compatible with mathematics. For example, basically we will start working in, we will focus on 3 different type of windows. When you open MATLAB, then you can see here that command window is there, and it's written on the top command window, and its sign is these 2 arrows. We can identify it. This is basically our command window. So first of all, we will start working on the command window and then shift to editor window. Why we are shifting to editor window, we will understand. But there are screen share. वो उन्होंने वो वाला सेट कर दिया ना, मुझे तो डायरेक्ट ये तो यही से ये इसको इसी को रहा है ना, वो वाला तो दूसरा हो, वो अलग है, वो वैसे ये है ना सर। आप सर यहाँ मैटलैब चला रहे हैं? हाँ, यहाँ मैटलैब चला रहे हैं। On top it's written command window, and these 2 signs represent that we are working on command window. But before working on command window, let us remember that mathematically, suppose we are assigning 5 to x, or we are calling 5 as x, both are same thing mathematically, but this will not work while we are working in MATLAB. Why? Because as per the protocols, because we are working in MATLAB environment, so we need to follow some rules, and as per those rules, whatever assignment, this equality is used for assignment, and whatever written on right side to equality, this has to be assigned to left hand side. So we need to take careful of the first basic rule where we can do mistake while doing a program. Is it clear to everyone? Equality will be used as assignment. For example, if I type say 5 is equal to x and let us enter, you can see that the comment is there: incorrect use of equality operator, assign a value to a variable using equality and compare values for equality using double equal to. So remember that double equal to we are using for comparison and single equality we are using for assignment, but whatever written on right hand side, that has to be assigned to the variable on left hand side. This one is important because mathematically both are same, but this will not work in MATLAB. Okay. Second rule, I will implement everything. Try to understand those requirements while working on command window. So suppose y is equal to x plus 6, and let us take x equal to 5 here. So mathematically there is solution to this one. Y is 11, but when you type it on command window or editor window, you will see that this is not allowed. Why? Because the first thing is that MATLAB works in sequential order. So before assigning this, the value of x, this has to be written above this line. X is 5, then this 5 will be assigned to this one, and value of y equal to 11 will be displayed. Why? Because MATLAB works in sequential order. So before evaluating y, this x as input, it has to be written on the top before this line. Is it clear to everyone? I am starting with very basic, assuming that suppose you don't have earlier worked on the MATLAB. So this one is the command window, but there is drawbacks, some drawbacks with command window. Say x is equal to 5 and y is equal to say x plus 7. Okay, MATLAB differentiate between capital X and small x, capital letters and small letters. Now, once you run any program in this command window, we cannot edit it. So, for, suppose we need to do corrections, we need to do editing. So, what we will do? We will calculate do all those calculation in editor window. So, how to open editor window? Either go to file menu or just type edit here. Just type edit here and press enter key. You will see that on the top there is editor window. One can open this window from here, editor window. So these are some basic command window. I have taken all these contents from this basic very good book, Introduction to MATLAB with Application by Amos Gillett. I will share PDF of this book. So this one is your basically interface of command window, and these are some basic rule why we need to do it in editor window, because there is a problem that in command window once you run the program we cannot do editing. So for any program it's better to do it in editor window, and then after running the program the result will be displayed in command window. So all the results that will be displayed in command window. Now let us show this by taking some example. So this one is your editor window on the top. First line you can write as CLC, clear the screen. It will clear the earlier garbage value whatever we have run. Second line, just for the same, say x is equal to 5, and the next line we can give y is equal to say x plus, I am starting with very basic x plus 7, then you cannot directly run from here. Look at this triangle icon. If you are working in editor window, then you have to run the program from here. Then once you click on this one, it will ask your file name. So you can give any file name except the standard mathematical functions. For example, I cannot write name of file names as sine, cos, any standard mathematical functions. And within two names, if there are two names, then you have to join it with underscore sign. For example, I cannot apply this one, say A, B, C and X, Y, Z. If there are two keywords, then we have to join with underscore, or better to use a single keyword and avoid standard mathematical functions. So let us name it as, say, capital ABC. Now save. abc.m is used for MATLAB extension file, just like we are working in Word, PDF, then .pdf. Similarly, abc.m, this one is the MATLAB file, and its result is already displayed in command window. Look here in command window. Now see, x is equal to 5, y is equal to x plus 7. If we put this semicolon sign, then result will not be displayed. Let us run it again, then semicolon sign will not be displayed. You can see that here x is equal to 5 is only there. So MATLAB is user friendly. Why? Because just by at each program's line, just by removing this semicolon, I can check whether that current line is is running properly or not, is agreeing with its mathematical values or not. Okay. So x equal to 5, y equal to x plus 7. So there are some standard rules. Just have a look on this. So these are the three windows. Command window, basically we will do everything on editor window, and whatever work we are doing on editor window, basically this one is called your script file. So I will come to the topic of how to make function files and what is the difference between function file and script file. But so far we are mainly doing all this in command window and editor window. We will do all programs in editor window. We need to click on, for running this program, we need to click on the triangular icon. It will ask for saving, giving some file name, and after that result will be displayed on command window. Is it clear to everyone? Result will be displayed on command window. So this one is, you can see the interface of this editor window. Here you have to run by clicking on this triangular icon, but before clicking you have to save it by some name. Now percentage is basically used to comment on a line. Once you comment on a line, it will not be part of the program. CLC command is used for clear the screen, and semicolon, if you remove semicolon after a particular line, the result will be displayed on the command window. So these are some signs, mathematical operations. Here plus, subtraction, multiplication we will use for star, for right division, this one, and for exponential, this one. Say 5 cube, we need to write 5 ways 3. 5 ways 3. And again the same rule, order of precedence. Parenthesis has to be given the top priority. This is what your assignment operator. Assignment operator, remember within MATLAB we are using equality for assignment operator. And for example, see, look at this one, x equal to 15. We have not put semicolon after 15. So result displayed on command window. Now x is equal to 3x minus 12. What is the difference here? Suppose, see, even I can use the same variable here. X is equal to 5 and say x is equal to x plus 7. Then there is a difference between these two x. It not stands for this one, that we are cancelling this and we are getting 0 as 7. Why? Mathematically this one is true, but while we are working on command window within MATLAB, we have already set of our rules that whatever written on right hand side, that has to be allotted on left hand side. So this is not allowed here. Actually x is 5, so 5 will be allotted to the 5 plus 7, 12. So answer is x equal to 12. So it will act as a y, because whatever written on right hand side, that has to be allotted on right hand side, sorry, on left hand side. Is it clear to everyone? Two important points. One is that MATLAB will read sequential in sequential order, and second, that whatever values, whatever written on right hand side, that has to be allotted on left hand side. So this is the result where x, the value of input x is 15, but here x equal to 3x minus 12, this line is given before this one. So x will be taken as input here, 3 into 15 minus 12, x is 33. So this one is rules for variables name, already I have explained you. Say we will use it in approximation, that the minimum value of epsilon allowed here, the epsilon is greater than 0, but in MATLAB difference between two numbers, minimum value of epsilon allowed is 2 raised to the power minus 52. This much minimum tolerance. So that is written here. INF will be used for infinity, NaN stand for not a number, pi we write it in MATLAB as pi. So there are several functions, but I am recalling some of the. Now these are elementary math built-in functions like square root of x. Whenever you are calling a function, see these are already inbuilt functions in MATLAB. So if you are calling some function, say square root of x, then this one is the sign. You have to put the argument, the input within a bracket. So here x is your input. I need to write square root of x. So you can comment on the previous line by putting a percentage sign here, and we can close the previous. There is no need to delete those things. We can, once you put percent sign before a line, it will not remain part of the program. Now suppose I am interested in computing, say square root of 2. So you have to give input in bracket, and then again you need to run on this one, because we are working in editor window, and the result is displayed on command window. Result is displayed on command window. So there are several inbuilt functions available in MATLAB. I will come to script file. Look at this one, the heading of this one, creating a vector with linear equal spacing by specifying the first and last term and the number of terms. So before coming to discretization, remember that whatever be the approximation theorems, iteration is one of the part of approximation. So when it comes to implementation, remember that we human being, or through using machines, we can only deal with finite number of things. This one is very important line when we are coming to implementation. Whatever your theory are, we cannot deal with infinite things in using MATLAB. For example, there is a proper reason behind that. I will come to it. You have to keep this line in mind. So now question is how to discretize. So there are two standard command which we are using in basically the idea behind that is from numerical analysis, and already there is inbuilt program within MATLAB. Suppose I want to discretize, say interval minus, say minus 3 to 3 in say okay, let us start from this one, 1 to 10 with equal spacing, say 1 2 3 4 and so on up to 10. So you can see that if whatever be the interval, say a and b including the endpoints, if we know the step size, This one is the length of interval. If we have A and B, it is known, H is known, then I can compute the number of terms. And similarly, if A and B are given, number of terms is known, then we have step size. This is a well known result. So using this, there are two types of doing discretization, using either linspace command or using two dots, but both the logic behind both is both depends on this one, this single line. Now let me show you. Either you use this linspace command or let us come to this one, creating a vector with constant spacing by specifying the first term, the spacing and the last term. For example, this one is your syntax for doing discretization. Why we need discretization, I will come to this. Variable underscore name is equal to m is to q is to n, or simply one can write in this way. Suppose we want 1 is to 13 with spacing of 2. So I need to write x equal to 1 is to 2 is to 13. It will give you 1, this one is your first number, then add 2, 3, keeps on adding 2 until 13. And if you are not mentioning the step size, see here step size is 2. If you will not mention step size, by default MATLAB will take 1 as step size. We will use it in iteration, your iteration program within for loop. Okay. So you can so let me comment on this line, and you can write here, say x is equal to say 1 to 10. So results are displayed here, है ना? हाँ.
सर ये डिस्प्ले में दिक्कत आ रही है, लैपटॉप उसमें कनेक्ट करें सर?
कलर थोड़े से वैसे है ना,
थोड़ा जूम भी हो जाएगा। सर वो वाला लैपटॉप का ये वो साफ नहीं है तो इसमें वो करते हैं
प्रॉब्लम होगी कनेक्ट करने, फिर पूरा बैक
सर नहीं कोई मसला नहीं है।
100% है, उसको जूम को थोड़ा सा 100 को
दिखाएं?
150 कर दीजिए।
इनका पीपीटी में दिक्कत आ रहा है।
नहीं एक मिनट में बता दूँ, ये जो ये जूम है ना, ये चेंज होता है, इसमें तो नहीं हो रहा है।
एक सेकंड
150, इसमें 150
एक सेकंड रुकिए, करके देता हूँ।
पीपीटी
पीपीटी भी है
कल 1 unit, minus pi, this is the approximated value, this one is your pi, sorry, next line, and by default it is discretizing with the space size 1. So obviously look at the size of this matrix, how many elements are there stored in this matrix. So you will see that it is 1 cross 7. This is one dimensional row with 7 columns. Now, so corresponding to those 7 inputs, I will have 7 outputs. So just remove this sign, put semicolon here. I don't want to display the values of this matrix, and you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So whenever we have, this is the technique to do partition. And after this, I can suppose I want to, because already I have the values of x and corresponding values of y. So you can get the plot command, plot between x and y, x and y. So figure window will open, and you can see as per result, if it discretize into more number of points, then graph will come smoother. So what we will do, here graph is rough, so we will minus pi to pi, we will discretize, let us give it spacing, smaller spacing, so that we have more number of points, 0.5 is to 1. Now as we reduce the step size, more and more points will be created, say 0.01, and the graph will become smoother. So this is one of the way to discretize a given say domain. Now there is another command for discretizing, that is say x is equal to, using linspace command. Linspace command, initial value xi, say I want to run it on -3, say -3, comma final value is 3. I want to plot sin x within the range -3 to 3 with certain number of points, say let us, those points are 10. Again with, by discretizing the interval, say -3 to 3, -3 to 3, -3 to 3 in 7 points, and correspondingly we are joining, we will get the value of sin x, and it will be rough. So to create say 100 points, you have to just change here number of points. So let me write here 100. So you can see that graph will become smoother. Why I have emphasized on say this how to discretize. So there are two commands, say m is to q is to n. M is the initial point, n is the final, and q is the space size. Second is linspace command. This one, variable underscore name is equal to linspace command. What are xi, xf and n? Xi is the first element, your a, this one is your b, and this is your number of points. So already it will give you step size. So there are several examples here. I will share this book, you can go to. This is the standard command to create your null matrix, zeros 3, 4. So it will create a 3 cross 4 matrix with each entry as 0. So there are for identity matrix we have ones command. Now we already know, see this one is the notation for matrix. Say I want to write the elements 1, 2, 3 here. Say 4, 2, 3. This has 1 rows and 3 columns. I have saved it, allotted it to the A. So A is a matrix here. Similarly B, let me write it as 3, 5, 7. So we already know that how to add 2 matrices, how to subtract 2 matrices. Obviously their size has to be same. We can do turn by turn corresponding addition as well as corresponding subtraction. But when it comes to multiplication, remember that there are two types of multiplication, inbuilt multiplication in MATLAB. One is your matrix multiplication and another one is your term by term multiplication. So you have to specify that which multiplication you are using. By default, for addition as well as for subtraction, it will take, you don't need to mention, by default it will do term by term addition as well as term by term subtraction. So remember that if I take here say A dot B, let me take start from the 2 cross 2 matrix and look at the result. These are the basic you need to know. A is equal to say 2 1 3 4 and say B as 1 0 2 1 1 0 2 1. I need to write, so in MATLAB I will write it as, I will write the first matrix as A is equal to, in editor window I will write it as A is equal to say 2 1, and this notation within the matrix sign is used to break the line for next row. I need to put this sign here, so it will be 3 4. This is the technique to write this matrix. If it has similarly I will write 1 0 here, and to break the to start from the next row I will put this sign within a bracket. This acts for next row, and this has 0 and 1. Now I want to write A dot star B. There is a difference between A dot star B and A star B. See, A star B, this one is will be used for matrix multiplication. Matrix multiplication, and this one is for, if I put dot star before this, then it will be for term by term multiplication. Term by term multiplication. Term by term multiplication. So now just run this one, and you can see that, but term by term multiplication means the first entry of this matrix is multiplied to this one, the second entry multiplied to this one. Why? Because when we are working in say Rn, discrete space, we may need such type of mathematical operations. So you can see that this one is the notation for element by element operation. So dot star multiplication, before division again, see division by matrix is not defined into a matrix. Division by matrix is not defined when we move for n greater than 1. One cross one dimensional matrix, that is basically your scalar. Okay, but in Rn we may need this type of operations. Say A dot A, within A we have matrix A1, A2, we have elements as A1, A2, A3, A4, and within B we have elements as B1, B2, B3, B4. So A dot star B stands for its first term will get multiplied to its first term, corresponding terms will get multiplied. A1 B1, then A2 B2, A3 B3, and so on. Similarly, A dot oblique B, the oblique is here used for division in MATLAB. So it will give you A1 by B1, A2 by B, corresponding division, term by term division. And A dot wedge B is used for A1 raised to the power B1, A2 raised to the power B2, and so on. So you can run this, but on these two operations, one is to how to do partitions, and second is how to do element by element operation. One need to expertise in these two. For example, say A is 2 6 3 5 8 4. So you can copy and paste it on editor window and run this. And suppose within B we are allotting this matrix to B and this to A. We are working on here command window. This is a sign for that we are working on command window. So A dot star B stands for, remember 2 is multiplied to 1. So we have 2 here. Is it clear to everyone? If I put dot before any mathematical operation, that stands for term by term, whatever be the operation, its multiplication division. Now, if you have exactly one element, say what is the first line stand for? This within matrix, this H2 is for discretization, and I have not mentioned here the step size. So it will by default take 1 unit. So first value is 1, 2 up to 8. Now suppose I want to compute the corresponding values of this polynomial at those inputs 1, 2, 3 and so on. So remember, whenever you have more than one element in your matrix, you have to use dot sign before that wedge operation used for power or multiplication or division. This one is an example. If you remove this dot operation, it will yield you only the one value by default on the first input value x equal to 1. So let me run on this one on. Let me show you. So say x is equal to say 1:10. I want to compute y is equal to say x cube. So x dot wedge x cube minus say 3x minus 3 dot star x, again star. There are two choices, so we have to specify what we want term by term computation. So I need to write dot before star x say plus 1, x cube minus 3x plus 1, and let us take it as minus 3 step size say 0.5 to 3. But if I remove this say dot sign from here, look what comment we are getting. Now read those comments. Try to understand these important points while doing a program. Incorrect dimension for raising a matrix to a power. Check the matrix is square and the power is scalar. To operate on each element of the matrix individually, use power dot wedge for element wise power. So I need to put dot here because in X we have X is basically a matrix. X is a matrix, you can see because we have discretized with the length of 0.5, or I can close this one and let us open the first one. So on minus 3 to 3 I have created 100 points and I want to plot this polynomial. So this is the way how to discretize. There are other discretization like exponential discretizing in exponential format, and there are but if you want apart from this one, then you have to create the user defined function that is called as your function file. The only difference is that in the first line you have to give the command that what are your inputs and what are your output. Rest all those things are same. So just like on command window we are calling factorial x or square root x, we will name those function files and call it on command window, and then we have to give the values of input, it will be displayed. So whenever there is such a situation that you need to run a program several times, then it's better to create function file. Now question is that why we are doing this and all. So let me just give you a brief idea. Basically working in approximation theory, basically anything, something complicated, replacement of anything complicated with something simpler in the sense which is easier to compute, easier to represent. So basically there are two parts of approximation. Iteration is one of the component which comes under approximation theory. So there is theoretical as well as constructive approximation. So we are here in constructive. Constructive approximation deals with computational practicalities, precise estimations of error and so on, whereas the theoretical side is more often concerned with existence and uniqueness question and application to different theoretical issues. However, I am not going to deal it in detail, I will focus here on MATLAB. So, this is one of the requirement that working in numerical analysis and in mathematical software is one of the main links between these two extremes. For its purpose is to provide computer users with efficient programs for general approximation calculations in order that useful advances in the subject can be applied. So, this I have taken from the book of M.J.D. Powell, Approximation Theory. These are some of the examples which you already know. All this comes under approximation. Even divided difference is approximation of derivative up to some error. Difference equation is approximation of differential equation up to a tolerance. There in numerical analysis you are using difference equations. This complicated vector space you are working in LPN. Here you have k equal to 1 to infinity, and we have the limitation that while using MATLAB we cannot deal with infinite number of things. So, we need to look at some of the subspaces, some of the subsets of this one where we have where there are finite number of say that finiteness may be in terms of numbers, that finiteness may be in terms of length of interval, that finiteness may be in terms of say dimension. So, depending on the question. So, you can see here that this one is a well known example which we used to do in our MSc mathematics classes. This one is its subspace, collection of all those sequences in which only finite many xk are non-zero. So, again we have finitely. So, I can approximate every member of LPN using density theorem from this space. This is basically what we are doing here. We are applying the density theorem, approximation theorems. So, this tolerance is given to us. We will set this tolerance. V is given to us, say, and we need to find W. Okay. So, all those these are some of the examples. Similarly, look here LPR, this is space. Here your function is there, but its domain is R and length of R is unbounded, and we know that using computers we cannot deal with infinite number of things or unbounded interval. So, we need to look at some of its subset from which we can approximate those elements in terms of approximation. I can say preserving those properties. Just like you used to email say creating a zip file by compressing those files, and on the receiver end we used to extract it and we have the same information. So, that is also an example of approximation. So, for this one is well known result that we with the help of compact support we used to do this, and closure of this CCR is LPR, that is every element of LPR can be approximated by CCR. And here the important thing which I would like to focus is, I think that what you please keep on focusing these techniques which I have emphasized, that when it comes to implementation we can only deal with finite number of things. Even look at the graph of sin x which we have plotted on say -pi to pi. We know that any non-trivial interval is uncountable. Leave uncountability, even within countable it can be infinite. Even we cannot deal with infinite things. We have to do partition. We have to do partition because we cannot implement infinite number of things using any machine, any software, whether you are working in Python, whether you are working with R software or you are working in MATLAB, Scilab, etc. You have to discretize. This is your basic mathematics. You have to discretize. Now, I will because Dr. Fahim is with me and he will show you the basics, program code of those iteration algorithms. So, before that I need to focus on some more mathematical commands present in MATLAB. Just have a basic idea why MATLAB is user friendly. Let me give you example. Just overall have an idea that what are the commands available in MATLAB. Suppose you forget the syntax of linspace command, then look at on the right hand side there is search documentation. On this just type linspace command. You will get several examples here. This is why MATLAB, many of the scientists are using MATLAB. And just type it. You have linspace command here, click on this one. You will get several examples. Look at y is equal to linspace command x1 x2, here about x1 x2 information is given. Click on this linspace command which I discussed. Now by default y is equal to linspace command -5 to 5, it is discretizing with the space of that one is step size I have not mentioned. So it will by default discretize into 100 points, -5 to 5. If you already this one we are discretizing -5 to 5 within 7. So first of all have an idea that what are the commands available, and just look at this one on the top right, click on this one, you will get several examples. So already discretization I have already discussed the use of that term by term multiplication, term by term, element by element operation. Now another important one which we will use in those fixed point algorithm, iteration algorithms, is the use of input command. Very useful command. Suppose you have prepared a program, next time you want to change the inputs, then again you have to write the program. So to avoid that, we will give input command, and whatever within input we will give within text, whatever text we will give, it will be displayed on your command window. I will show you. And before running the program, computer will ask you that what are the required inputs. So as you enter the inputs, it will give you the required result. For example, so its syntax is variable underscore name input, and within these two you have to type the statement whatever you are doing. So these two, this line will be displayed on your screen while running the program. For example, look at this one. Suppose we are interested in a game in computing average of 3 games. Now I want to, so each time there is a game and I want to enter the value of by 3 candidates entered in, scored in game 1, game 2 and game 3. So what I will do, I will take help of the input command. Input, look at this one, game 1 equal to input, enter the points scored in first game, game 2 input, enter the points scored in second game, third game, and then average points is equal to game 1 plus game 2 plus game 3 by 3. So whatever written on left hand side, that will be assigned to game 1. We need to look at this input command and fprintf, how to enter input and how the results will be displayed and how it will be formatted. And then after that I have to cover just 2 more if else command and loops. After that Dr. Fahim will show you the iteration commands, and then how to do editing, all that I will discuss one by one if I get time. Let us do typing of this one, because this one is important point, I cannot skip it. Say game 1, you need to understand this one. These are some of the result. Say input, I restrict it to just 2 games. Input, enter the score of game 1, okay. Then let us copy it and paste it here, game 2 and Next, average game, average score is equal to, because I have allotted it to game 1 and game 2, so values are stored in game 1 and game 2. So what we will do? Now run this program. Look what is displayed on the command window. Enter the score of game 1. Now system is asking that what is the score of game 1. Let us do it manually. Let us give the values as say 4 and then again press enter key. Game 1 4. Now again, because 2 times I have used the input command, so we have to provide 2 times the value of game 1 as well as game 2 using your keyboard. This is the difference there. So game 2, let me enter 6 here. So your average score is already I have executed it. So let me again give the value 6 to first one and enter the score of game 2. Let me give 8 and enter. Then you can see that average score is 10. So advantage of input command is that screen will ask you using this system that what value has to be entered. So program is same, the only difference is that we have to change the value of say you can say call it as input. Now how to format the display, the results whatever displayed here, how we will format those results. So there are 2 well known command, one is the display command and second one is the fprintf command. But I will focus here on fprintf command due to time limit, time constraint. Very useful command fprintf. You can edit format, you can format the output values here. The advantage of fprintf command is. So before coming to fprintf command, look at its syntax. Fprintf, you have to type whatever values you want to display, text type in as a string. This is the standard command fprintf, text as a string. This one is basically used for formatting. Here remember here f is used for, so whatever variable name we want to display, I have to specify it after comma. This one is to edit, format the values to be displayed in the format. Here f is used for floating numbers, simply understand that real numbers in decimal form. Okay. This percentage is used here for to address the result. Where I want to print the value of variable underscore name at this %. So here within fprintf command, percentage is used to assign the address at which value to be printed, and if you give percentage command outside the line, that is used for comment. That line will not be part of your program. Okay. And what it we stand for -5.2f. Remember that this 2, I think as I remember this, I will check it. This 2 will be that after decimal 2 values has to be displayed. Suppose you are doing some numerical calculation and you want your answer up to 4 decimal places. So you can write there percentage, say 8.4. So after decimal it will take only 4 values, and this 5 is basically including decimal sign, the total digits will be 5. So remember within fprintf, percent is used for printing the value of this variable at this % address within fprintf command. So within this program I am taking, let us add here fprintf. Average score of game is. Now I want to print the value of average underscore at this place. Let us understand 5.2f. Since there is only one output, so I don't need to mention here. If you want, you can mention, like because values of score are stored in this average underscore, so I can put here that what values we are displaying. Now run it. So again it is asking, because we are again it will ask that what game we have, what is the score of game 1. So let me give 3 and again press enter key. It is asking for score of game 2. Let us take say 3.5. Now look at your average score of game is whatever I have given within this text, the same thing is displayed here. Average score of game is, look at average score of game is, and the value of this average score is displayed where we have given the percent sign. Is it clear to everyone? The same percentage sign within fprintf is used to denote the address at which value to be printed, and the percent sign outside will be used for commenting the line, for closing a line, which will be not the part of the program. So average score of game is this. Now look here, after decimal we have 7.5. Average score of game is, because already I am formatting which value, average underscore. Let me close here, otherwise it will confuse you. Now again say 3, enter, and 3.5. 4.75. 4.7 means after decimal we have 2 digits. So this 2 is used for formatting the results. After decimal we have 2, and overall there will be total 5 digits. Why 5 digits? Look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, including the dot sign, and before it to see exact value, let us put a 0 before 5, 3, 3.5. Now look, the total number of digits are 5. 1, 2, including decimal 3, 4 and 5. ये समझ में आ गया? Now let us change here. 8. Run this program. Again, let me enter 3 here. 3.5. Look at the pattern here. You are getting total 8 digits, and after including decimal, total 8 places including decimal, and after digit only 2 digits are displayed. So if I change this to 4, now look, after decimal there are 4, it is displaying results up to 4 digits, and the total number of digits including 0 is 8, including decimal sign also. So there are several rules here. I will share you the book, how to do further editing, how to make tables and so on. This is what written here. If you give percent 5.2 I, then all results will be displayed in integer. Look here, this one, x equal to 1:5. 1:5 stands for discretizing from 1 to 5 with spacing one size. So result displayed here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to find the square root of those 5 numbers. So square root of x function has to be allotted to y. Within T we have saved x, and this is used to break the row x, y. This is allotted to within T, matrix T. And fprintf, if the number is percent I want to print values in integral form, its square root is percent f, I want to print square root in decimal system and the values input 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in integral form, \n, this is used for new line, and we are printing the values of t at t x, okay, in t, within t already x and y are saved, otherwise you have to specify x comma y, because we are interested in printing the value of input, those numbers from 1 to 5 as well as their square roots. So we want to print two values, so clearly we have to use 2 times percentage sign. Why? At first percentage sign the value of x will be printed in alpha in that order in which it is given, and the second percentage is used to print the value of square root. Look here, within t, try to understand this, all these will be used in understanding that program. Within t, x is written first and y is written at second position. So here within t, x and y are there. So the first percent sign, this percent is used for address within fprintf. So at first percent sign I will print, output will be displayed, the value of x will be displayed here, and the second y, the value of y will be displayed at this sign in float format, in floating decimal number. Now look at the result here, this is already the result of your command window. Try to understand this logic, everything is given in the book, just start running those programs, you will understand all the. My idea is to just inform you about those available tools. So if the number is 1, the first value stored in this x is 1, look here, this is 1, so 1 is printed here, its square root is %f, and the second value of y, square root of 1 is 1, and because here we have written %f, so it is displayed by default in decimal system. If the number is 2, next time it will execute \n is there, so from the new line it will start from the new line. So we have studied about input command, that is how to provide values using your keyboard, and second fprintf. Actually formatting option is available in fprintf. So all this you can study by yourself. I am coming to if I will get time I will come to plot function, but before that, actually there are several ways how to plot several graphs on the same, in the same say figure, or how to suppose we are dividing your screen into a block of 3 cross 3, and I want to put a certain figure into say second block, then that can be used using subplot command to compare several graphs, whether it is for some operators or for functions. You can use the hold on hold off command. So that I will come to later on. It's very simple, in place of plot command you can use the subplot and all those. Look here, we want to so first of all look at those which we need exactly in program, and then I will show you how to. This one is your user defined function and function file. See, while doing a project we may need some other type of calculations for which MATLAB functions are not built in. So in that case we need to write our own program or sub programs, so that we will do using the user defined functions. So for that user defined functions, remember the only difference is that suppose I want to compute the area of a rectangle, so obviously area of rectangle is given by a into b. So I require two inputs, a and b. I don't want to use the inbuilt functions of MATLAB, I want to create my own function file. So for that you have to specify that what are your inputs, this is the name given by us, and with the same name we will save the program which is given here, and here we need to specify the output. So first line will be function, here we have output, and on the right if we have more than 2 outputs, suppose we are interested in computing area and volume of a sphere, and both depends on the radius. So there is 1 input and 2 outputs within a one program. I want to compute both of them. So this is the only difference is that we will do all these on editor window, but we have to declare the first line as function file. All those commands will remain same. So this is the command for subplot MNP. MNP stands for, we are dividing our window into m cross n. Assume that suppose you want to insert a figure in certain section of your page, then what we will do, we will create EPS file and call EPS file using include graphics in your text studio, in your latex, and you want to place your figure in this block. So in place of plot command you have to give subplot mn. It will this will be your first block, second block it will assume moving left to right, first block, second block, third block, fourth block, fifth and sixth block. So if I want to place the value the graph of sin x into this plot, so I have to specify that within 3 cross 2 matrix I have to put the figure of sin x into the 6 blocks. So this MNP stand for this one. This we will use while comparing different figures, while doing comparisons, because in while submitting papers to general we used to do these commands. Subplot command is there, and there is hold on hold off command that will be basically used to, let me give you a basic idea of hold on hold off command also. I think suppose I want to plot this polynomial, this cubic polynomial, as well as its first and second derivative in the same plot on this domain, on the common domain -2 to 4. So what we will do, we need to first discretize, because we cannot write this interval, we have to discretize it. So let us discretize -2 to 4 with a spacing of 0.01, with a spacing of 0.01. Now this is y, its derivative. However, there is also diff command directly to compute differential of any function, the number of times, but we already know the differentiation of this one. So let us write directly yd, this first derivative is stored in yd, and this one is stored in ydd for double derivative. This notation we have chosen. Now plot x y, color it with blue, join it with dash, x yd. On the same input we are using yd, it will plot with x with its first derivative, color it with r with double dash, then x with the second derivative. I think this case for magenta color, I don't remember, black or so you can see that the graph, all the graphs will be pasted within a single plot. There is already available tools that while running a program, once your figure file is there, you can do editing, label it as what your x axis denote or your y denote, how to put title here, and from these figures legend command, that which one is representing your polynomial, which one is representing derivative polynomial. So all you can do either in the EPS file, either in the figure window, or you can use those commands for. Now before ending, just I will take 5 minutes more. Another mistakes while we are using program is not correctly using the relational and logical operators, because we are inbuilt of doing it all as a mathematics student. So I would like to here mention that while using 5 greater than 8, we are doing comparison. So 5 greater, is this statement true? No. So that will be represented by 0. 0 here stands for that the statement is not true. Double equality we are using for comparison. Now look at this one B is equal to C, suppose, yes, x equal to -2 and y is equal to 5, -5 less than x less than -1, its answer is 0. What is the problem here? Mathematically the value of x is -2 and -2 is within this range, is it okay? But we are getting 0. The difference is there because we are looking it from mathematics angle. If you are writing -5 is less than x is less than -1, remember MATLAB read it from left to right. This is the important point while doing the program. You need to take care of this point. So if x is -2, if x is -2, suppose I write here 5 is equal to 5. So this equality is used for comparison, so answer will be 1, means this statement is logically true. If I write 5 is equal to 7, then I will get 0, logical 0, means this statement is false. Similarly here MATLAB reads it from left to right, although obviously -2 is within this one, but you will get the answer 0. Why? Because -5, first these two will be compared, -5 less than -2, is it correct? Yes. So answer allotted to for this is 1. Now whether 1 is less than -1, 0. That is what displayed here. ठीक है, क्योंकि होता क्या मैथमेटिक्स फ्रेम में वर्क करते रहते तो कुछ देखा नहीं, पहले देखा, ये तो ऑलरेडी इसमें रेंज में है. अब इफ एल्स के अंडर जब कमांड दिया तो वहाँ ये गलतियाँ होगी, क्योंकि आप लोग मैथमेटिक्स बैकग्राउंड से, तो मैंने खास करके वो पॉइंट में एम्फेसाइज करो जहाँ गलतियाँ करेंगे, बस इनको थोड़ा सा किया तो आप एंड और ऑपरेटर यूज करके इसको रीराइट कर सकते हैं. तो देखो ये यहाँ पे दे रखा, आई विल शेयर दैट दिस वन, -2 5, you can see the answer is 0 here. Now next one, so these are the, now this is the syntax for if else end. If the syntax here is how to use the conditional statement. So within if I have to compare whether A is less than B, C is greater than equal to B, and if there are two inequalities you have to combine it with and or as per the case. This is used here for or and this is for and. Don't write directly in this way, it is not allowed, otherwise you will get this answer. So now if else command, whenever you have two choices, better to use if else command. When you have three choices, either this, or so better to use if else, if then else command. So look at the syntax here, how it works. If your conditional expression will be checked, if it is true, between if and end all those commands will be executed, and if this conditional statement expression is not true, then it will come out after the end, whatever be the commands, whatever the MATLAB commands are there, it will be executed. So all you know, this one is an example. Look at this question. A worker is paid according to his hourly wage up to 40 hours and 50% more for overtime. Just two programs I would like to mention here. Try to understand this, and then Dr. Fahim will, because this you will use in your MATLAB programming. So here we used to compute the pay with two conditions: hourly wage up to 40 hours, and if he is working overtime, then he will get 50% more. So using input command, please enter the number of hours worked, that is saved in T. H. Input, please enter the hourly wage, you have to specify, then this is the command for pay, T star into H. If T is greater than 40, then pay will be the pay plus 0.5, 50% extra, and if this is not true, then it will come outside and F printf, this line will be executed. So this is the way how if else command will work. So you can run this program, this one is very similarly. If else end structure, we have three choices here. If this condition is true, then between if and else all these lines will be executed, otherwise this, else this, otherwise it will come directly from this one, and all those commands written this will be executed. Similarly loops, there are two important part in loops: for and loop and while loop. So, for loop, in for loop, end loop, the execution of a command or a group of command is repeated a predetermined number of times, while in while loop already a condition is made given, just we have fixed the tolerance and we are looking for which is coming f say xn minus x, xn minus l less than epsilon. So, epsilon is given to us, tolerance is given, sequence we know, then we are looking at the number of iterations for which we will get in that range. So, for end loop, so look at how it is how it works. For k is equal to f is to s is to t, f is the initial value, the value of k in the first pass will be f, s is used for increment and it will keep on doing up to t. So, in the first loop k will take value f and it will be executed. So, there is a program here, suppose I want to obtain square of the numbers from 1 is to 10 with space size of 3 or sorry yes with space. So, in the first k the value of k is equal to 1, for k equal to 1 square x will be allotted. So, we have x equal to 1, next time again the loop will be incremented with the space size of 3. So, 3 is added to 1, the next value of 1 will be k equal to 4, square of 4 is 16. In this way it will be executed. And okay, so now Dr. Fahim. Tea break. Okay, just I want to show these two programs, but due to time constant, actually it's impossible to cover MATLAB within. This program, try to understand this program. This one is a very good example of how to create a function file, because the program for this one is not there in MATLAB. So, I have to create my own function file, and this one is very easy. You need to do 2-3 programs on this one, try to understand the logic there. So, Jadbhai, I can take 5 minutes, 5 minutes or close. Okay, after this Dr. Fahim, and if I will get time I will explain. Okay. Thank you for your patience.
So, tea break for 15 minutes, okay? So